Hi, welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Experience. The reason why I am doing this video is I want to show you guys how they will send me these type of subliminal message, right? So I'm on my desktop, my computer, my PC, and again, I said the word PC, New York Police Department, using their sirens. Why? Anyhow, so I see I had a message from this person, Deuce East Veer. And on my desktop, I want you guys, let me switch the camera so you guys can see. Let's bring this down here. Okay, let me switch to the main camera. So on my desktop, my messages over here, all right, you don't see this person there, right? So first time I ever got a message like this that says somebody wants to send a message to me, they can just send it. I'm not blocking anybody, right? As you can see here, it's not blocked, but you can see on my desktop is no longer there, right? So this person keeps sending me this. This is all from this morning. It's 6:57. Remember I talk about how to use time, right? And time is always important when they targeting me at New York Predator Department using their sirens. They will target me in such a way. I just want to show you guys this message is there. They will target me in such a way, and I said target the New York Police Department using their sirens. That's right, I am a targeted individual. Okay, and as much as they may want to prevent me or threaten me from making that claim, I'm going to always make that claim because not only have I proven it, but I keep proving it over and over again, just by what it is that they're doing. So he says, "Hey, are you giving me a color attack? Your profile appeared me, and we don't have friends in common." That has nothing to do with me. All right. But anyhow, let's continue. This is how they like to do things. And to show you that they look at my videos. I know they do. That's, it's like I said, sometimes when I don't post my videos, they'll start using the sirens, right? Because they're addicted to it. Okay. But this is what they will engage in. It says, are you searching for black boy DNAs? Right? So I always talk about the Baltimore Police Department, as well as not police department, Baltimore health department, right, and as well as health departments all over America. They had been stealing the DNAs of black children, particularly black boys, right? And you can go and read about it. This is in the early 1990s in what was called the Violent Initiative. So these are these things because I know these things, so they'll try to engage in these things, right? To say, oh well, you are microchipped because of this violent initiative. That's bullshit. This is bullshit. Let me tell you why. When you go and you look and you see who commits the most murder, it ain't black people. Okay, it definitely ain't black boys. That's for sure, right? The uh, uh, mass shootings, right? The one of the largest mass shooting in America the past decade was what, that dude in Las Vegas, white guy in Las Vegas, who shot some. He killed like 40 something. Shot like 40 something people. Come on now, these people are insane. When it comes to black people, they are obsessed with us, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. Okay, so let me give you guys some information. Like I said, I this is what I do, and they know it, and they will use these things to let me know that I'm right. Okay, so hold on a sec. All right, so here's the thing. When I went to, and I want you guys to understand why they do this because they know I'm going to look up on it. And what they have done is that they have basically deleted a lot of the information about the violent initiative of the 1990s, particularly 1992, that were available online. And so even if you ask in Google, if you say Baltimore Police Department stealing the DNA of black boys for the Violent Initiative program, it will tell you that that is conspiracy, right? But it is not. And I want you guys to understand how they keep on erasing certain things from the internet, because going forward, when younger people, if we don't tell them about these things, they're not going to know. And those who do know won't be able to find the information. But you could go to Wikipedia, okay? And it's interesting. Like I said, when they do these things, they do it to let me know certain things, right? Because again, when you care for your people, when you speak out about the things that are doing, like I use YouTube as a platform, Rumble as a platform, Facebook as a platform, to speak out against not only what the U.S. government have done in the past, but what they continue to do today. Not just the U.S. government, but corporations and white people in general, what they continue to do to black people, right? And manipulating us in such a ways and developing technology to control us, right? Using our women to put our boys on medication, as Dr. Umar Johnson said, for ADHD, right? When the fact of the matter is that these boys have no discipline. Same with the girls, but they're not concentrating on the girls. Like I said, it isn't. You're not going to see when the revolution comes. You're not going to see women on the front line fighting in mass like you see men. And so what do they? So what do they do within the black community? Is getting the women to effeminize the men, right? So that when they, like I said, do what they want to do, when it gets to that point, you won't have masculine men to fight for the community, for their women, for their children. You're gonna have a bunch of feminine boys in grown men bodies. This is why it is important, like I said, that black people, specifically today in this climate, put your children in self-defense classes. Put them in self-defense classes. All right. So I want you to look at this, right? Because again, this is what they do, right? The Violent Initiative was a proposal for research into reducing violence in America's inner city, first announced on February 11, 1992, at a meeting of the National Mental Health Advisory Council by psychiatrist Frederick K. Goodwin, then director of the Alcohol, Drug Abuse, and Mental Health Administration. It was initially proposed as a large scale program of research into inner city violence with the intent, listen, of identifying children and youth believed to be biologically and genetically predisposed for violence. Now, like I said, if you go and Google this, it's going to tell you that there's no such program and there was conspiracy theories. But it says it right here, right? Biologically or genetically. So how were they going to do this research? How are they going to look for this uh, trait of violence within a person, okay, or within a human being? How? America is trying to hide what it does to black people. It has always done that. Uh, uh, Look at how they bury Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, right? This is what America is doing. This is why they don't want people to know about slavery. They don't want, particularly going forward, our children to know about slavery and how horrible slavery was. They're trying to change the narrative about slavery. Right? And Negropeans, like I said, Negropeans are the dumbest. And it's not through their own fault. They're being conditioned to be dumb and stupid with religion. And they will go along with these things. They will not get upset. Now, in 1992, I was probably what? 20 years old? Okay? 21. All right? No way did I remember anybody in my circle in college ever talking about these things. Not the news or anything like that. And you know why we know about this back then? is because of Dr. Peter Bergen, who wrote a book called uh, um, The War on Urban Children. Anyway, let me read. Again, people think that this shit is, we as black people, we don't get angry about this shit. But we should. But we can't. Why? Because we don't have any form of consciousness, awareness of the technology that they have created, of the environmental warfare that they continue to wage on us. All right. So let's continue. Right. So it was initially proposed as a, I think I read this right, large scale such and such, yeah, children and youth, right. So, all right. So Goodwin further suggests that future research possibilities might include intervention and targeted treatment in order to divert these youths from possible future violence. So what they're trying to say, when they say stuff like that, that my brother and I were part of this program here in New York City, that they stole our DNA, and it just hit a car hung. So I guess that's confirmation. But again, I'm just speculating, right? Because they'll send me a whole bunch of subliminal messages, right? You hear the bang, the loud bang, all right? So the proposal drew public controversy after a portion of Goodwin's speech, which compared inner city youth, and we know who we talk here. They're talking about when they talk about inner city youths, right? To primates in the jungle were leaked publicly. So I want you to understand that the people making these policies, the people creating these programs, that's what they think about us. And you fucking Negropeans are out here targeting your own kind, right? The lies, the manipulation, because y'all are a bunch of dumbasses. And I keep saying again, y'all are a bunch of dumbasses. That's why religion is the bane of black people's existence. Black youths today need to get rid of this shit. Throw that shit in the garbage. Your lives are being destroyed, and your parents and the older people in your community don't give a shit about you. They don't give a fuck about you, black youths. Get some awareness. Get some consciousness. Throw that Bible in the damn trash. Because in the next two decades, you guys will be in the worst situation than we are in today. Stop falling for the mental manipulation. The social media is weaponized against y'all. And particularly my young black sisters. Take some pride in yourself. How you dress, how you speak. They are diminishing your cognitive abilities. They're diminishing your psychology. So, the remarks were initially publicized by Peter Bergen, an outspoken opponent of psychiatric medication and biological explanation of crime. Now, we know biology has nothing to do with crime. Maybe in some sense, in terms of if a person is born mentally wired in a way that makes them a sociopath, a psychopath, and stuff like that. But that's very few people within society. And again, and the people who are most likely to be that way are white people, white kids, not black and Hispanic kids. I'm about to say black. I hate when they try to use brown face. Look. Yes, they are black Hispanic people, but look at the people who they associate with being brown. Do they look fucking brown to you? I'm brown. I am brown, but I'm also black because I'm a lighter shade of black. Right? These so-called white Hispanics, they're not brown. They're not brown. So I use the word Hispanic or Latinx, whatever one they want to choose, whatever one they choose, okay, to be called by. But they're not brown people. All right. The Native Americans that we have today, that they call Native Americans today, these descendants are the products of the rape of indigenous women in America. That's why they're so light today. Okay? They are trying to whitewash the population also. We gotta understand this. This is, again, you get some fucking knowledge. not biblical bullshit. Okay? So, Goodwin first apologized for the private remarks in an interview on February 21st, calling them insensitive and careless. But yet he was comfortable enough to say this around his colleagues, right? So, like I keep saying, when white people get in the house with their children, with each other, this is how they talk about us. This is what they call us. Make no mistakes about it. Okay? He said he resigned from his position on February 27, 1992. Further controversy arose when Bragan drew a connection between the violent initiative and Goodwin's earlier research into the use of psychiatric drugs as a means of controlling violent behavior, ultimately suggesting that the violence initiative would result in widespread use of psychiatric drugs to control the behavior of inner city minority children. So, like I said, I hate to be right about these things, right? And when they attack me in the manner in which they attack me, they know exactly what it is. It's the nigger parents, and they use religion. Because nigger parents are stuck on stupid when it comes to religion. Y'all are. Y'all are stuck on damn stupid. So critics denounced the proposal as racist and call for it to be canceled. Supporters of the proposal countered that um, the proposal would be a legitimate research topic and had become a victim of political correctness. I want you to understand that there are a large group of people in America that view black people, particularly young black children, as a threat. We know that when it comes to crime, poverty is the biggest contributor and indicator of crime. Where you have mass poverty, you'll have high crime. It has nothing to do with your DNA. Okay? Understand that. Poverty in America, it is a $500 billion industry. They don't want to get rid of poverty because there's too much money to be made from poverty. And then when they talk about violence amongst young black children, what about the violence among young white children? Young white trans person walking to a Catholic school, killing children. Young white men walking to high schools, college, killing other students. Right? Young white men, right, walking to movie theaters, killing people. Young white men going to shopping mall, killing white people, or people in general, or even their own. Right? How come there is no violent initiative for young white boys? When they commit more murder than black children. When black children commit murder, they're killing each other. And we know America don't give a damn about that. We know that, right? We know America don't give a damn about black children killing other black children. They're just using this as an excuse so they can run these kind of programs. And you dumbass nigger parents keep falling for it. Because you keep voting for these wicked ass wealthy politicians who don't do shit for you, but because they're white or because they talk about God this and God that and God that. But what the fuck are they doing for you? What are they doing for you? Right? Oh, God anointed him to be in that position. And what is he doing? He's throwing your children under the bus. I'm talking about Mayor Adams. From the time that man has been elected mayor. And then you find out that this motherfucker is corrupt. So that's your man of God. Everybody they elect into these positions who call themselves men of God or Christians, what have you, they're the most corrupt group of people that you can ever imagine. You can never imagine anybody else that is more so corrupt than these wicked ass Christians. And when I tell you that they are not good Christians, because the very same people who believe this shit, they're Christians. They are Christians. Okay? So again, we as people need to understand this. What it is that they're doing. How they've been initiating these things. And ADHD is a label that they put on black children because they know that black children who are diagnosed with ADHD is not that they have a mental illness, is that they have a lack of discipline and structure because they come from homes that are either impoverished and or raised in household that is where the mother is the head of household. And if she has to go to work with no one to watch the kids except for the kids watching each other, right? Kids cannot raise kids. But time and time again, we've seen in our community, we'll see mothers leaving their young children with their other siblings. Unless that sibling is in their teens, I'm talking about 16, 17, 18, and they have certain life skills like knowing how to cook. You train them to know, teach them how to cook, how to do laundry. But that does not mean that you're going to turn them into a slave. It just means that if you want to go somewhere, that you know that your children is at least okay with their older siblings. But you will have these mothers leaving their 10-year-olds to take care of young children. When my brother and I were 7, 8, 9 years old, we had to take care of our sister's children, both sisters' children, washing their diapers at the time, because there was no, I mean, they were Pampers, but they were expensive, right? I'm talking one in Grenada. So we had to wash, we had to cook, make sure that they get something to eat. Right? Yes, I had my sister-in-law, but she had to go to work at times too. But I remember those days. This is why I'm so good in terms of raising children, taking care of them, particularly when they're young, as babies. Right? This is how I know how to cook, because it's that mindset that I had when we had my brother and I had when we were younger. Now it wasn't all the time, right? But there were times when you had to do that. So what I'm saying is that because of people in poverty who has been traumatized for decades and decades, right? They put us in situations where this what happens. See, they never think about that, right? But you ever wonder that when a white young man, a young teenager commit mass murder, they always talk about how he has a mental illness, right? But when these young kids who are gang banging, they don't say, oh, they it's because of their trauma, and they don't bring that shit up at all, right? But you Negropeans will hear that and be like, oh, okay. But when it comes to your very own, you want the book thrown at them. Bunch of dumbasses. And I'll keep saying it, a bunch of dumbasses. Okay? So again, they are trying to delete these things off of the internet so that people don't know. And what they have done also, I can see through Wikipedia, is that they don't talk about the stealing of the black boys' DNA, which started in Baltimore, but not just that we know about, but we know also, we can speculate. If it happened in Baltimore, it's happening in New York City, it's happening in Los Angeles, it's happening in Chicago, right? It's happening in big cities across America. So they are trying to erase these things so that we cannot find. And this is why they did that, send that message, so they can let me know. Yeah, well, but again, when you have a group of people, another group of people who controls all your resources, the technology, all these things, they can do whatever they want. Okay, and we can only hope that some of them have some form of truthfulness, right? That they not only are they academically honest, but scientifically honest as well, right? Philosophically honest, all these things that we see that what it is that they're doing today to get rid of any truth, to get rid of any truth. These people war. Part of their war with us is the war against truth also, the war against us knowing the truth, so that when future generations are born, they'll be born ignorant because their parents wouldn't know about these things. Their parents wouldn't even look, not all of them, but most of them wouldn't even look into these things. This is what I talk about. And like I said, whenever they feel that they have the upper hand, they will do this. But it is my purpose to expose them, like I said. All right. So let's get back to the other, the what initiated this. Okay. Okay. So yeah. All right. Welcome back to this to the Facebook message that I received. So here's the thing. Why did the message disappear on my desktop, my PC app, right? The Windows app. Actually, not Windows app, but the window Facebook, right? From the browser. Why did it disappear? I didn't delete it. It should still be there. All right. So when I go here, it's still there. It's still there. Okay. It's still there. But on my, let me do this. On the desktop, the browser app, it's not there. It is not. It is not there. Go to my messages. That's my message. It is not there. Go to my notification. It is not there. All right. So sometimes when they do certain things, it blows up in their face. To be honest with you, it blows up. And when I said to myself, and you see, I was like, okay, it disappeared, so I can't really take a picture of it. So let me go to my phone, go to the app. There it was. I took a screenshot just in case the message disappeared. So apparently, certain things I guess they can do with the app, and certain things maybe, I guess, I mean, they could do it on the app too. So whatever, for whatever reason, they decide to do it on the computer, right, on the website. This is what they do, man. And like I said, this is why I'm going to continue to expose them. All right. Now let's see who this. If can I see this person? If I go to their profile, yeah, of course, these are. Let's see. Does this person have photos? Again, Charlie Kirk fan. All right. So again, like I said, I just got like I know what it is I'm talking about when I talk about these white supremacists. When I talk about particularly in the police, the predator police force. When I talk about me being targeted, and some of the first targeting I received was from KKK in New York City. And of course, I'm talking about the ones with the that had the Confederate flag in the back of their jacket on their arm patch. But the white and also the white racists, right? The KKK on the New York Predator Department Force. So again, you know, I tell you, I hate it when I'm right, right? And like I said, they have been shadow banning me, but that's okay, all right? That's okay. I'm still gonna post my videos though. All right, talk to you guys in the next video.